Hi guys, welcome into a brand new installment of the Career Competitor Podcast with me, Steve Mellor, and as always, we're brought to you by the CG Sports Network, and I am delivering you on this Monday a competitive call in the hope that I'm going to light that competitive fire within you in order to jumpstart or optimize your career as we go into this new week. Now, I'm going to start a 3-part series here on the concept of checklists. And at the surface, this sounds super dull, super boring, but stay with me, guys, please. This is not your ordinary checklist that I'm going into here. What I'm actually talking about is, and I'm going to give you an example fresh off the bat, just so you are totally with me from the beginning here. Around this time of the year, working within my full-time role as a collegiate swim coach, the NCAA has all these rules in the off-season where you can only mandate very limited amount of hours. And with that, a lot of options are available to our athletes to either take advantage of or just to simply not. And what I find is that every single year, this is when you start to see who is comfortable simply making sure that they're showing up on time for whatever is mandatory, that they're doing whatever's asked of them, and then they're seeing it through to whatever the end of that mandated version of their training may be. And then when it comes to the optional stuff, and when it comes to the opportunity to maybe advance beyond what's expected, sometimes they choose not to do that. They pick and choose. They don't necessarily find reasons to expand their checklist when it comes to what is required to get better. They see the expectations. They see what it means to meet an expectation every single day in terms of not getting in trouble, and they just satisfy those expectations. And it got me thinking, this 100% exists across all walks of life, across all careers. Your 9-to-5 people that show up at 8:58 and are out the door at 5:01. Those sort of positions, those sort of jobs, they're everywhere. I've been that guy before. I've worked that job before. And you do just enough to make sure that you're not getting in trouble. So part one of this series that I'm providing here, this is just simply analyzing and providing and highlighting the problem. And I'm going to give you guys a week to have a think in terms of, are you maybe guilty of this in some way, shape, or form? So going back to what I said there initially, is that sometimes we allow ourselves to be defined in terms of our performance by simply meeting expectations, being on time, do what's asked of us. We don't demonstrate initiative. We don't stand out. Our standard becomes the minimum standard. All right, hear what I'm saying there. Our standard becomes whatever the minimum standard is to simply avoid punishment or to make it to the next day. And that is where this whole concept really started to hit me on a level that I wanted to share with you to challenge you, because you may be guilty of this. Shit, I am guilty of this. I know I am. And it's why I wanted to really bring this out to the world and just put it into the universe and say, Steve, you cannot wake up any day and allow your standard to be some sort of minimum standard that is established somewhere in order for you to simply exist and to get by. That is no way to live. That is no way to be successful. Over time, this is going to eliminate ambition. We're going to start to accept what the status quo is. That's scary stuff. Losing ambition because we're just comfortable meeting expectations. In other words, you might not be causing problems, but you're also not getting noticed. You're meeting standards, but you're not setting standards. Again, like I said, I'm bringing this to your attention now as part of this 3-part series, and the next 2 parts of this are going to be much more constructive. These are going to be things that show you how to avoid going into this potential sort of pitfall within your career, within life. But I wanted to just leave it right here today because I just want you to stop and think. Are you in some way, shape, or form, and this could be completely in terms of your career, this could be in parts of your life, in parts of your career, but are you allowing yourself simply to meet expectations and that's it? Are you looking for ways to make sure all the boxes are being checked by the end of each day so as to avoid getting in trouble, to avoid punishment, etc.? I think that is something that we all are guilty of in some way, shape, or form at times. So have a think and join me again on next Monday as I go into part 2 of this series of these competitive calls on this topic of checklists. And I am excited to maybe hear from people in terms of maybe putting your hand up and saying, yep, you got me, Steve. I'm guilty of this. And if you are, please reach out to me. Let me know. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm going to be posting a blog regarding this too. I'd love to hear from you. Feel free to reach out on careercompetitor.com as well, where you can always contact me directly through there. We have a truly fantastic interview coming up this Friday. And I'm going to leave it right there, because if you don't tune in and listen to it, you are absolutely crazy. There is going to be something in it for everybody. So I really hope you opt to subscribe to the show based on this listen, and make sure you're going to be getting that new episode coming on Friday. But in the meantime, best of luck with everything you've got going on within your life and your career at the moment. And I look forward to speaking with you all again very soon. Bye for now.